Hi, my name is Leslie Watson, and for my lesson plan, I chose to do a second grade math lesson. Um, so the standards and objectives for the prerequisite standards are to know that 3 digits of a 3-digit number represent amounts of hundreds, tens, and ones, and then also to skip count by fives, tens, and 100s within 1,000, starting at any number. And then the lesson that I'm teaching today is to read and write numbers to 1,000 using standard, word, and expanded form. The objectives for this lesson is to identify differences in standard, word, and expanded form, to categorize your number into the correct form, to convert a number in any form to opposite number forms, and then to read and write number forms on an exit slip activity and achieve mastery. The materials needed for today's lesson is a grading rubric, pencil, paper, individual whiteboard, and expo markers for each student, numbers printed out on computer paper for each student, exit ticket handout for each student, internet access, projector, computer, my instructional video, my PowerPoint slide, and then guided notes for SPED 504 and ESL students. The activities that we're going to go through is bell work, procedure individual work, procedural group work, and then exit slip. An overview of the introduction. We're first going to start with bell work, where the teacher will begin the lesson by putting a list of ingredients for making a cake and their measurements on the board, but the measurements are given in any number form, and then ask them related questions. Then we will review the requisite standards that we had learned previously throughout the past few days or weeks or so on. And then I will show them an instructional video for expanded word and standard form. Then we would go into the procedures, and we first start with I do, which is the teacher will work several examples on the board to show students differences in each number form, and while I'm going through all the procedures, I'll have my number form slide that I created. Then we have the we do, where the teacher will write several examples on the board, and the student will write their correct answer on their own individual whiteboard, and they'll hold it up to see if they got it correct, and students that didn't get it correct will go through and trying to understand why they didn't get it right or where they're messing up at or try and correct what they're doing. Then we have you do, where the student will work several problems individually at their desk with pencil and paper, and the teacher will circulate the classroom to help students who need additional instruction or feedback. The activity that we do after this is the teacher will hand out a printed piece of paper with any given number form on it to each student, and the students will categorize their number into the correct form by standing in the corresponding section of the classroom. So, for instance, let's say the front of the room, go to the front of the room if your number is in standard form, go to the back of the room if your number is in word form, and then go stand by the teacher desk if it's in expanded form. Then the students will get into groups of 3 or 4 after we do that. And with their peers, they will work together to convert their given number form into the opposite word form. So if they get a number in standard form, they'll work together to change it to expanded in word form. Then we have an overview of the closure, and we will summarize and review lesson definitions and examples. After we do that, we will do a 10-question exit slip, and you have to achieve mastery on that, which is 7 out of 10 or more correct answers. And then students who do not reach mastery will be retaught and reassessed on the standard in either one-on-one or small group settings. Then the assessments for this lesson is formative. The teacher will ask guided questions throughout the assessment and evaluate student responses. The teacher will circulate the classroom during procedure activities for feedback and additional instruction. The student will complete an exit ticket at the end of class, which acts as a reflection of the objectives, and they must achieve mastery on that. And the teacher will use a grading rubric to assess student understanding. Then we have summative assessment, which is the student will take a place value unit test to evaluate learning over everything that we learned in the unit. And students who do not reach mastery level, which is 77 and below on a test, they will be retaught and given additional practice in small groups or one-on-one settings. And that's all. Thank you.